very good evening, afternoon, whatever, at the new time of 5:30 in the afternoon, Central European Time. We are bringing you SLR. It's round 16, something like that, of the
17.
SLR. 17, there you go. Thimo to the rescue. I'm Terra Incognita. Alongside me, as usual, is Thimo.
Hello, guys. Today it's Japan, Suzuka. And as always, I have to say why I like the track. It's a really cool track because it has a lot of flow for the driver. And oh, okay, I thought the weather was wet, but it actually isn't. It's just massively overcast. So it is one of the better tracks on the calendar, in my opinion. It's obviously a classic with the battles of Prost and Senna in the past here. Lots of seasons have been decided here, and the layout is just awesome in my opinion.
Yep, well, in my opinion, it is the best track on the F1 calendar. I think I put it slightly even above Spa because just such a fantastic combination of corners. The S's at the beginning of the lap are superb. You've got some slow bits, you've got Spoon, which is a fantastic corner, you've got 130R, which is brilliant, although not particularly brilliant in Formula 1 cars. And then you've got a little dinky chicane at the end, but I'll forgive the dinky chicane at the end, that's fine. It's a really fantastic racetrack. The only figure of 8 as well, that's another reason it's really cool.
Yeah, I think after the Degner corners you go below the long straight that's leading to 130R.
Yep, absolutely. We'll take you around on the outlap here. We're on board with Triton. So these are the S's. You've got to get the line absolutely right in the S's, because one mistake in the S's and you are offline and losing a lot of time and having to correct later on in the complex. Into the 2 Degner corners. There's the first of them. Almost flat in an F1 car. Then you slow right down to 4th gear for the second one. Through there, under the bridge, that is the track that goes the other way. And into the hairpin, which is, it does have a name, I forget what the name is though. So
I don't know either. I'll get a track mapper.
Okay, it is the hairpin as far as I'm concerned at the moment.
I think that's actually the name.
Oh, okay, all right. Wait. So yeah, that's the hairpin anyway. This corner here is Spoon corner. You got double apex here. This is where Verstappen and Vettel came together earlier this year. Then the second part, you've got to wait on the apex for the second part, run out onto the curb on the exit there, and then you go down the straight, and just about now you go over the track, which goes sort of perpendicular to where the track is at the moment. Then through 130R, that left-hander, it's been neutralized a lot in recent years since the Alan McNish crash, and then the little chicane at the end of the lap, and the Ferris wheel on the left. That is a lap of Suzuka. And Triton is now going to start his fast lap. And just take a moment as well to wish Tipsy Bob and everybody else a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Tipsy is in chat. And yeah, Merry Christmas to you too, sir. Hopefully this is entertaining, this SLR race from Suzuka. This corner here is Dunlop, a long left-hander, very difficult to get right. Again, at the end of the S's, you just got to take as much speed as you possibly can through it. Here's Triton going through the Degners. And he has abandoned that lap. So we'll find Speedy instead, who I believe is on a fast one, going through Spoon. Oh, and that is not how you do the exit of Spoon. Oh, and into the wall on the exit as well. Did something weird happen there?
And again, okay. Fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know quite what happened there. Copy goes fastest with a 1:27.5. That is the first time in the session that has been set. Here is Mr. Ocean Chief. He's going to be driving later on this channel as well in the 6 hours of Kota, along with my co-commentator here, Thimo. We'll be in the same car.
Please send help.
It'll be fun.
I'm definitely prepared. I can definitely drive a car.
So Sergios has gone second, and he's doing his usual trick of going onto a weird tyre to begin with. He's gone onto the mediums. So not quite sure why that is, but he's certainly very fast on the mediums, even though they're quite a lot slower than the Super Softs. Bantz goes 6th. There's a few people still in the pit lane, so not everybody going straight out on track. I might actually, apologies to the black screen, I might ping Ocean Chief and ask for a weather report.
Oh, let's tag 100 plus people because I'm sending something. Nice.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm still sorting out the spread of the stream.
Okay. So
In case you were wondering.
Bantz is... we got the revs bug, so let's not go on board with Bantz. He's going to go through the long left-hander. And...
Oh, Triton already.
onto the straight. Yep, thank you, Codemasters. That's not really the camera that we want at this point. Through 130R and into the chicane.
Well.
Okay.
Okay. Have you pinged Ocean Chief or?
I did, yeah.
Okay, good.
But he's out on track at the moment, I believe. He goes 4th, Bantz, with a 27.8. Anonymous onto the front row with a 27.5. But all of this is just the preamble, really. I think Sergios is going to be beating all of those times as soon as he puts on the super soft tyres.
Yeah, probably. Wow. That lap is insane.
On the mediums, yeah.
Yeah, it's properly insane. It is 6/10ths of a second. Oh, wow, as Bantz eliminates a brake marker board. It is 0.6 seconds slower than Copy, but 2 tire compounds softer. That is insane. Holy hell.
So yeah, probably about 6/10ths for a 1 compound difference. So a 2 compound difference, about 1.2 seconds. The weather forecast is dry. Thank you, Ocean Chief.
Thank you, Ocean Chief.
That is good to know, and is also, I think, the best outcome, because we want to see good racing here at Suzuka. We don't want that weather getting in the way.
Sergio's now heading out with soft tires, so he will definitely improve on his summit. Honestly, if my head calculations or just my guessing is right, then he might challenge Copy for net pole position even now for provisional pole.
Even on the soft tires, yeah. I don't actually know what the optimum tire strategy is. I imagine that the soft compounds are quite fast, because there's a lot of corners where the grip is necessary here. The sustained grip is necessary, and there's a couple of slow corners as well for which you really need soft tires. So I don't know. I wonder what the drivers are going to do. It might even be worth a 2-stop for a couple of drivers who just want to do something a little bit different and get themselves off sync with everyone.
Meanwhile, I'll get the championship table up.
Oh, the championship table. Oh, we should have put that on the broadcast. I forgot all about it. Etney goes fastest of all with a 26.7. So that's the sort of lap time that I think Sergios is going to be looking at with those super soft tyres eventually when he puts them on. If he decides to put them on, of course. Speedy goes P2 with a 27.484. Only marginally faster than Copy and Anonymous on those super soft tyres as well. So maybe a little bit more work for Speedy to do if he wants to get himself, or wants to make sure that he's towards the front end of the grid.
So, according to my professional calculations, Etney would need more than 7 points per race now to close the gap on Sergios until the end, because we've got 5. I think it's 5 races left, yeah? Should be 5.
Yep.
And the gap is currently at 37 points. It is 295 for Mercedes driver Sergios against the 258 for the Sauber of Etney. So, yeah, that's your gap.
37.
And, if you then divide it by 5, you see that he has to make up 7.4 points per race. So at this point, it wouldn't help him anymore winning every race if Sergios comes second every time. So really, really getting close. Also, it was this race could have been a dramatic turn in the championship because Sergios almost couldn't attend the race. That would of course have been a huge game changer at the front.
Yeah, it certainly would.
In the end, and I think Luckily, he made it. It's better for the integrity of the championship, of course.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it certainly is the case that Etney has been faster through most of the second half of the season, but certainly those points in the first half of the season for Sergios, they're going to come good for him by the looks of it, as Sergios does in fact abandon his lap on soft tyres and just goes straight into the pit lane. So 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Triton's gone P2 while Thimo was talking about the championship, so good lap from Triton. Who's now on a cool-down lap. So he goes P2 on a 27.1, which is only 4/10 slower than Etney and 3/10 faster than Speedy behind him. So Triton has had a few good races now, and he looks like he's going to have another one here. Obviously been putting in the hours, and the practice is paying off for him.
Exactly. Please jinx him more, lol.
If I jinx everyone, then I'm actually jinxing no one. So that's my strategy. Just jinx everyone,
Okay.
and then that all cancels each other out.
So everyone is doing a great race.
Yep, everyone's going to have a fantastic race. Exactly.
So then I can get to eat something in half an hour, because everyone will DNF. Oh damn.
So here is Hugo's going through 130R. Ran a little bit wide in 130R there. Hopefully he didn't abandon his lap because of that. It would be a silly place to do it. Looks like he's still pushing though. He's going to cross the line, and he is going to do... he's going to very marginally improve. So he improves 7/100ths of a second. Goes above Sergios as Noel gets himself disqualified for blocking the pit exit.
Ow.
Well, that is quite unfortunate. I guess he was probably trying to let people through and got disqualified for it. So if that's the case, that's very unfortunate.
I'll ask him.
Yep, thank you. What we got in chat? Quam Wimpy. There we go. Wimpy is... Wimpy's having a little bit of a struggle at the moment. He's down in 18th position, but plenty of time to turn that around. Anonymous is going to cross the line now, and he is going to improve. In fact, he's going to improve only by a 10th, but that gives him 2 extra places. Leapfrogs both Speedy and Copy into 3rd place. Gerrit Knutzer, thank you for joining us, and welcome along to this SLR broadcast. We got 6 minutes of qualifying to go.
And Etney is just preparing for a really fast lap with a slow... Yeah, with trying to get the optimal exit out of the penultimate corner with a good run onto the straight. So he's now in turn 1. So maybe
absolutely perfect. Yeah, I'm on board with him now. Absolutely perfect through the first 2 corners. Nailed the apex. Very smooth exit through the S's. We're going to see him clip each one of these apexes. We run a little bit wide in the right-hander, just a tiny bit. Will have cost him a little bit of time. Again, missed the apex of the left-hander, but he's full throttle all the way through there anyway at Dunlop. Into the Degner corners. He's going to clip the first one. Just about extend the track enough, but not enough to get a penalty through Degner 2. Perfect exit. Really got the power down well, and into the hairpin, braking as late as he can. Got a wheel onto the grass. He's run a bit wide. So not a perfect lap from Etney, and I think he's still on it. So he's not abandoned it yet, but certainly time to be gained there. We're going to see the sector 2 time down this next straight. That was very good through Spoon again. He just about got away with extending the track across the line for sector 2, and we're not going to get a sector 2 delta time, unfortunately, because the game doesn't want us to get one, so that's unfortunate. Braking into the hairpin, very hard braking. Again, hit the apex perfectly, hit the second apex perfectly as well. Got the exit very good, full throttle all the way to the line, and this lap is a 26.4.
That's about a third of a second faster than his previous time. So an improvement. He's now 0.6 seconds, about that, ahead of Triton.
Yep, absolutely. So a very fast lap from Etney, and there is more time in it. We saw that there was... Yep, Copy, the other Sauber driver, going onto the front row, but only temporarily. Sergios almost managing to beat Etney's time, but instead is 13 thousandths of a second behind in with a 126.502. Speedy on a fast one as well. I think he's just done a fast one. He's going to go for his second lap on this stint.
In the meantime, Noel has confirmed to me that we were right with our assumption that he just tried to let people on their fast laps through when he was exiting the pit lane, and he got disqualified for it because Codemasters is obviously great at that job.
Well,
so, yeah,
as Revo said in chat, F1 game bad. Afraid so. In this case, at least.
Yes.
Speedy's
a 5 out of 10 university rating.
Speedy just about run out of DRS. He also cut the chicane there, and I think he's probably going to go into the pits. Yep, he goes into the pits. So no improvement for Speedy on that run. He remains P5. Is he going to be able to turn that car around? Yeah, I think he probably just about will. There's just under 3 minutes to go in the session, so he's going to have to, he's going to have to be as quick as he can getting out of the pit lane and putting those that new set of super soft tyres on. Not even awesome. 5 out of 10, says Revo.
Yeah.
So
salt.
Yeah, and then an angry emoji. Between 0 and 1 out of 10. University rating, of course.
If you say so.
So
I like the game. So everyone is preparing for the final lap, I guess.
Yep, I think so. I think Triton is on track. Where is he on track? I'm trying to work out with the bad camera. He's coming to the end of his lap, so we'll watch Triton do his final qualifying lap. We got Bantz on an out lap as well. I expect Bantz to improve from his 27.8 at the moment. Yellow's in sector 1 for some reason. Here's Triton then down the front straight into the first couple of corners. Let's go on board with him, because otherwise we're getting a camera tour. Oh, wide on the exit of turn 1, and yep, that's the end of that lap. So Triton will have to do another one. He just about does have time, thankfully. Speedy just behind him on track, I think. In fact, just ahead of him. Oh, Triton's gone off the track. He can't afford to wait too long because he is going to have to hustle a little bit to get another lap in. There's only 1:20 left in the session.
Yes. That might be close. He'll really have to be fast now.
Yeah, he will.
I think it's doable. But... Oh yeah, I had wrong lap times in my head. He should be fine.
Yeah, I think he's all right. Just looking down the order, Tipsy, who just retired, having a very good qualifying session.
I think Triton might make it close. He might retire.
Yeah, he's trying to let everyone through, but he might have.
You can do that on track. Just offline. Practice your GTE strats, mate.
Yeah, he's got
retires.
Effective retires from P16, so he'll be starting down there on a fresh set of tyres. And yeah, I wonder if Triton might not get around.
Yeah, that will be really close. I don't think he will make it.
Yeah, it's going to be very close. Etney is just ahead of him on track. I think Etney will make it, but I think Etney is close to not making it. So 14 seconds. We're going to keep an eye on this.
He's now in the final chicane.
Yeah, Etney's going to cross the line. So Etney crosses the line with 5 seconds to go.
Oh, Triton, I think he's got
Triton, oh, it's so close. 1 second, wow.
He has got it.
So
I totally told you.
Sergios didn't get across the line, though, so Sergios doesn't get another run at this. So Etney, at the moment, it looks like, unless somebody else pulls a complete miracle from somewhere, Etney is going to be on pole position, by the looks of it, for this Japanese Grand Prix.
Hearts are bottled it into the wall, as it seems.
Oh dear.
Vance is now exiting the last corner, and he's coming across the line in P7.
7 for Vance, nicely done. And also, Anonymous went into the top 5 with a 27.302, 4 thousandths ahead of Speedy, who is on his last lap now. And we're going to keep an eye on Speedy.
Triton currently not improving. He is, I think, 500ths down on his old time. So half a tenth, which obviously won't be enough to beat Copy for P3.
I think that's what he's looking at the moment. Here's Speedy out of the last chicane. Got all sorts of opposite lock on the exit of the chicane. He's going to cross the line, and he's going to do a 27.0, so he goes third. A good lap from Speedy. Triton is up 2 tenths up.
Yeah, he pulled a quarter of a second out somewhere. Nice run through the final
First
chicane.
of all, we're going to see
Not getting
Etney's
opposite
victory
lap.
lap. He does a 26.2 and cements his place as the
And
fastest
Triton
car. And
is ahead
Triton
of
goes
Speedy.
third
Three modes
with a
modes
26.9, I believe.
in the third row of the grid. So nice lap by Triton.
Yep, absolutely.
Really good.
And yeah, he's certainly sort of, I mean, they were all good laps from Triton as well. He was consistently at the top of the standings in that session. So really good stuff from Triton. And there is your grid. Etney with a 26.2. That is very, very fast indeed, as you would expect. Sergios in second place on the front row with a 26.5. And then Triton, the only other man in the 26s, goes into third place. Then Speedy in fourth. Copy and Michael fifth and sixth. That's the third row of the grid. Then Anonymous, Bantz in P8, Danny Coe in P9, and running out the top 10, not really a place you want to be, is Tipsy Bob, who's going to have to start on his old super soft tyres ahead of Hugo's in 11th, who does not. So, Suzuka in Japan is the venue, and once again it is time for the race. And as you will have seen, no doubt, it is dry for the race as well. So we have a completely dry race in this one, and we're going to be able to see in terms of who has done the most preparation and who has the best strategy going into this one. Everyone in the top 10 is on the super soft tyres, which suggests that they are all happy to do a one-stop onto the medium tyres, but maybe a couple of them going for the super soft into the double soft strategy or something like that as well. But we will see. 27 laps in this one, so about a 40-minute race. It's pretty typical, I think, in terms of length. It's not one of the super long ones like Singapore. So Etney's pushing quite hard on this formation lap. I wonder if he wants to get heat in the tyres.
But he'll have to wait a bit longer then. Wow. It's like probably faster than I would qualify.
Yeah, he's definitely on it. Wants to get this. Maybe he just wants to get it out of the way so that he can watch the 6 hours of Kota later on this evening.
Exactly. Which of course everyone
Absolutely.
will watch.
Absolutely.
You will stick around to see me getting disqualified, getting yeeted off sausage curbs, everything. I will have so much fun, it's incredible.
Yeah, 50 incident points, and yeah, I'm sure there are going to be some people who, there are going to be some teams who get themselves 50 incident points. As we see Speedy almost right into the back of Triton, he managed not to. Nobody been disqualified yet in the formation lap, which is usually the cue for somebody to be disqualified. We will
insert that.
We will see. Here we go through the final chicane, and the car's about to line up. As there we see a little bit of a glitch. We see Anonymous going transparent so that Bantz doesn't hit the back of him. That's just the quirk of the game. There's not actually any danger there with those cars.
Triton also got stuck in the rear of Sergios.
Oh dear. There we go. Let's find a good camera. That's a good camera.
I don't have one. I look further down the order. Turn 1 can be really...
Yep, it can. Oh, that's not a good camera, though. Let's try it. There we go. That's a good camera. 3 lights then. 4 lights. 5 lights. And away we go in Japan. Who got a good start? Etney looked like he got a good one. He just about squeezes out Sergios, gets himself to the inside and takes the lead into turn 1. Side by side behind them. And a little bit of carbon fiber flying in the background. Yeah, Triton seems to be okay in P4, and at the moment it looks like everyone getting through the first couple of corners without any real drama. Nobody falling way down the order, so good stuff from the SRL crew getting through the S's and into Dunlop for the first time. And it is pretty much as you were at the front. Speedy has managed to get himself into third place. Triton got a little bit of a poor start in that Ferrari, but we know he has the pace to recover from that. And we'll see whether Speedy can look after his tyres in this one as they head into the hairpin for the first time. Further down the order, we've got Danico and Hugo side by side. That's for the P11. Oh, a little bit of contact between them, but nothing too harmful there. Hugo's has to cede that position to Danico.
Oh, Wimpy catching a bit of grass there.
Yeah, what's happened to... Oh, yeah, he's got quite a lot of grass. So Wimpy right at the back now, unfortunately. So he will be looking to recover his position there. He's got Noel and Jesse right in front of him. Noel, of course, disqualified from the qualifying session, unfortunately.
And Tipsy Bob is really close to Benz. Will he? Okay, no, he won't go for a move.
Not sending one into the chicane, disappointingly.
Consecutive cars locking up, and
oh, Clara, what happened?
Clara might be in trouble. 5 seconds for Jesse extending track limits. Did a stand-up probably.
No, Jesse spun in the... Yeah, he spun in the chicane, so Jesse right at the back, unfortunately. And yeah, Clara pits. Clara's got damage, unfortunately. So... a bit of a struggle for him.
Yeah, front wing will be switched out. And exactly. So, the cars are still following each other in a nice manner, but we want to see some battling, and we see Copy going catching the grass, anonymous through. Basically everyone goes through, and now Copy has to get a safe spot for rejoining, and I think he did that fairly well. He goes into the gap between Effective in P15 and Noel in P17. So Copy, who obviously has quite a lot of pace normally, is now demoted down into P16 and gets hit off by Noel. I think he broke early or Noel broke too late. I don't know, but Copy gets hit off and he goes from bad to worse. His race goes from bad to worse, not himself. And now he has to reverse out of the gravel.
Yeah,
and
complete
now he
disaster.
is almost at last if it wasn't for Clara. So Copy with a big task at hand if he wants to get himself back up into the point ranks. I don't know whose fault that was, and I won't point the finger at anyone. I'll just assume it was a race incident because
I think
Noel was probably a bit late, or
yeah, I think whenever you go into the back of another car into a braking zone, it's usually the car behind's fault. We'll see. I mean, there might have been mitigating circumstances there, but it certainly looked as though Noel just outbraked himself and went into the back of Copy. Probably. It was really unfortunate. But back at the front, we got a battle on here between Etney and Sergios. They were quite close going over the line, and Sergios certainly has Etney in sight at the moment. That's the view from Sergios's Mercedes. That's the Sauber of Etney in front, who's been chasing a lot this season. But never maybe...
Oh, and Effective! Effective is round after the first turn.
Oh.
And he has definitely got some M-plate damage, I think.
Oh, he's got a lot of damage. The whole of the right side, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the right M-plate is almost completely gone, so he'll probably have a red front wing and trying to limp home now. Yeah, he just can't get around the S-Sus. Copy gets through now, so he will hope... I hope he won't get into any car's way on his way back into the pits as gloves and steering wheel goes out of Danico getting a cool run out of the hairpin. Okay. So
yeah, he lost
we've had a fair share of drama in the first laps. Yeah,
meantime, up front, lap 3 now, and Sergios again, certainly getting a little bit of slipstream, I think, from Etney in that Sauber. So they go through 130R towards the chicane, and I wonder if he's going to be close enough into turn 1. He will have DRS, of course. We're late enough now in the race that it's after the first 2 laps, and there will be a DRS activation for him. He's pretty close. 4 tenths away, 3 tenths away. He's going to have at least a look into turn 1. Etney goes to the inside, tries to cover, and just about does cover it off. Sergios not really close enough to force the issue, but he is right there behind Etney for the lead of this race right now, as Tipsy loses P8 to Hartzer by the looks of it. That must have happened into turn 1.
Also, rest in peace to Jason, who had some good races lately and didn't attend this one because he apparently didn't. He forgot that we changed the time. So.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, well, we changed the time.
Again next race, but for this one we have Hartzer as a substitute in the Force India car, as Effective gets himself a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's unfortunate.
Yep, it is. It's the usual thing when you've broken your front wing is that you can't slow down for the pit lane speed limiter line because you don't have any front downforce.
especially
So,
when it's a bit curved. So you lock up.
Yeah, exactly.
And Sergius is dangerously close.
Yeah,
Holy.
he's still half a second behind as they go down the back straight. We got a battle as well here as Bantz just gets a little bit wide there, and Spoon gets a little bit of a moment.
Oh, the yellow flags every time freak me out.
Yeah, I think that was Jesse. I think Jesse is having some struggles at the back there on his new tires, so I don't know what happened to him.
Please, Codemasters, give us graphics for, like, just make the block of the car who is causing the yellow flag yellow, so we can detect it. Please, thanks.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? As again, Sergius.
Oh, Slash LP! Slash LP crashes with Noel! Noel and Slash LP both into the wall! Rest in peace, he got overtaken. I think he got a really poor run out of the chicane, the last one. And then he got sideways, gloves and steering wheel, tried to get through. Slash LP wanted to maybe put the power down a bit to maybe take revenge or something.
Oh, Michael has spun as well. Michael from P6 has spun as he fortunately ghosts there. Otherwise, he would have completely wiped out gloves and steering wheel. Oh no! You never like to see that. That's unfortunate.
He's doing donuts.
Oh dear, as Wimpy goes up into P11.
Nice.
So close to a point for Wimpy. It's good stuff from him.
Because and Tipsy really close to Copy's rear. He almost hit him.
Something must have happened to Tipsy.
Copy going a bit wide and Tipsy slipping down the inside.
Yeah, something must have happened to Tipsy.
Yeah, Copy looks like he has damage or something like that.
Yeah, he's falling way off the back of Tipsy. But yeah, I imagine something did happen. Don't exactly know what, but it's very possible that something happened to Tipsy. Which is unfortunate. Very good qualifying session. He was 9th on the grid.
Yeah, Clara in the pits again.
Clara pitting again.
Now getting wide in the first turn. So what I was trying to describe was Jesse was the crash that happened with Noel and who was it? Danico? No, Slash LP.
Slash LP, yeah.
Yeah, I think he tried to plant the power down then and got a bit of oversteer into the inside line, and unfortunately Noel was passing there, so basically their front wings collided and it just Noel basically got torn off the race line into the gravel trap, into the wall, as well as Slash LP, so that's probably the race really compromised for those two.
Yeah, absolutely it is. As here we see Michael into the pit lane. He got passed by Tipsy Bob, so I don't know if he had damage. Yeah, he's changing his front wing, so he certainly had damage. Very close battle here for 7th and 8th. As Hugos did have a little look into turn 1 last time, but wasn't able to get that done.
He'll have a look down the inside. Can he keep it nice and tight? He can, and he gets the better acceleration at first. They're still side by side running towards Spooner, but it looks like Hugos will get the better. Oh, that looked dangerous.
It was, it was okay. Hugo's realised that Hartzer had outbraked himself and put his car on the inside there. There certainly was room for him, and he got the traction on the way out as well. So good stuff from Hugo's. Gets himself up to P7 in this race. Meanwhile, back up front, only 6/10ths between our two leaders now as Etney crosses the line. And Sergios again will have the benefit of DRS. And this is the first real race we've seen between these two in terms of wheel-to-wheel battling. So good stuff from both Etney and Sergios.
I think there were some.
Well, I think
from Silverstone.
Oh yeah, I guess Silverstone, yeah. But this is certainly the first we've seen in a while between these two drivers. So very evenly matched on pace, it seems, here at Suzuka, which is fantastic to see.
Now Etney got away a bit.
So yeah. So Anonymous and Bantz have also pitted, sorry, and Hugos has lost his what had become P5 to Hartzer again. So I don't know why that was. He's fallen a little bit off the back of Hartzer, but he seems to be okay. So I don't know if he has damage, but something happened, I think, with Hugos there.
Okay. Yellow flags. Copy pitting again.
Yeah,
Hartzer breaks himself again. This time, no time for Hugos to display his killer instinct as a driver, just seeing the car going a bit wide and going down the inside. Was really beautiful. And what I meant by saying it looked dangerous was in my camera angle, it looked like when Hartzer got his car behind the car of you guys, it looked like he would just smash into a side pod.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. No, it was. They both gave each other room. It was good stuff from the two of them. They both knew the other was there. Hugo's got himself a penalty there for running wide at Spoon as well. So
Yeah.
he's obviously trying it quite hard. Oh, Etney pits from the lead. So in fact, 3 of our top 4 runners have pitted at the end of lap 7. So Etney, Speedy, and Triton all in the pit lane. And I imagine they're going to fit the medium tyres. Is that a glitch? Is nobody working on Etney's car? No, it was a 5-second penalty for Etney.
Oh!
That must have been.
I didn't notice that. In the meantime, while you were saying that, Tipsy Bob has made a clean pass on Wimpy after driving behind him for half a lap and being desperate to get past the car because it was obviously faster, probably a bit on pace and also with a softer compound of tires. He was searching for a gap. He didn't find it at first, but now on the long straight, on the back straight, he finally managed to get it done.
Good stuff
Smooth
from Tipsy. Fastest lap from /LP. So we do have, interestingly, some different strategies from our drivers here. Triton has gone onto another set of super soft tyres in P6. I wonder if that's with the intent of getting past Speedy as soon as he can, because Speedy is on the medium. So Speedy and Etney both trying to 1-stop, and Triton, by the looks of it, is going to 2-stop. So it'll be interesting to see whether he's able to get enough of a gap as he almost runs into the back of Speedy there as they go through the hairpin. Anonymous is also right there behind them on warmer tyres. Speedy, of course, with those cold medium tyres right now.
Yeah, Triton must get past Speedy fast.
Yeah, it's got to happen soon.
Yeah, look at the superior downforce or grip. Superior grip he has got out of Spoon Curve.
Yeah. And he's also got the Slipstream here. He's turning his his ERS down. So I wonder if he's just waiting until the main straight, which is where he could maybe get it done. But the thing is that Speedy is, I think, going to get DRS from gloves and steering wheel in front. It's going to be very close. Sergios pits from the lead. Yes, Speedy's going to get DRS as well. In fact, he doesn't. So maybe we can get the overtake done here with Triton as he goes to the inside. And yeah, I think he's going to be able to pass him quite easily into turn 1.
Oh, runs a bit wide. Will Speedy try his luck? No.
And
no room there.
Sergios has... Oh, very close between the two of them. Sergios has come out in front of everyone. So Sergios is now in the net lead of this race. He's gone on to the medium compound tyres. So it's up to Triton really now to push his super soft advantage and try and get as many positions and as much time on the clock ahead of the others as he possibly can before he has to pit again.
I'll investigate in the meantime what gave the penalty to Etney, because that's not only a huge deal for this race but also a huge deal for the championship.
Triton squeezing gloves and steering wheel off the road there. That was pretty harsh. I think he probably had the right to do that, just about, but it was very, very unfriendly from Triton, not leaving the space, and usually you have to leave it a space, but I think in Triton's case he was just about far enough ahead that he could squeeze him off the track, but it was certainly close.
All the time you have to leave a space. So why did Etney take so long in the pits? Because according to race director he didn't have a penalty.
Okay, so something weird happened then, because it certainly looked as though the guys just... I was watching the whole thing, and it looked as though the guys just weren't working on his car for 5 seconds, which said to me that he had a 5-second penalty, but maybe it was something else. Maybe it was some sort of bug.
Copy spoiled the party?
Yeah, I mean, Copy maybe... Did Copy just come out of the... He might have just come out of the pits, you know.
Yeah, probably.
That makes sense. Oh, as we get Anonymous and gloves and steering wheel side by side in turn 2, and Anonymous just about gets that one done on the exit, so good stuff from him.
Wimpy having a nice pass on Jesse through Spoon Curve, so also... Even though they don't get as much screen time, the drivers in the lower half of the field are also capable racers and have nice battles. But yeah, we tend to rate them less relevant, and just as I was saying, Jesse goes off track a bit. That looked dangerous, and he gets himself another stop-go penalty, and also a huge penalty that popped up in the meantime for Ethnic TRN, 3 seconds. Yep,
absolutely. So Etney gets himself a penalty. Is that somebody being lapped? Michael being lapped in the Williams, unfortunately. So Michael not having a good race. So yeah, Etney gets himself 3 seconds as well. So it's not all going Etney's way at all in this one, as we see. Oh man, this is a cluster here, isn't it? Bant's right on the back of Etney as well.
Bant's. He's looking hungry. Bance really wants to do something. You can.
He's going to follow.
See the shining in his
Follow Etney
eyes.
through. Oh, what is going on?
Oh.
Bance just about manages to get that done. He gives Etney the room, almost runs into the back of him. Very nearly runs into the back of him.
That looked like he was about to spin.
Fastest lap of the race.
So nice job.
Fastest lap of the race from Triton, as you would expect on those super soft tyres. He's now right on the back of Sergios. So yeah. Sergios, I mean, it's in Sergios' interest to hold him up here as much as he can, because Triton getting a big lead. Oh, he made a mistake in the right-hander there, did Triton. Missed the apex completely, but did manage to recover. It's not going to matter too much because he's still going to have to follow Sergios through here. There's nowhere really to pass until the back straight, I would have thought. Yeah,
exactly. I think the grip will bring him closer and closer to Sergios if he doesn't make mistakes, and then he might be able to make the pass on the start-finish straight again. Because, yeah, the medium tires normally aren't a match for the super soft.
Yeah, he's not really close enough at the moment though, so he's gonna have to get a bit closer.
Holding his ground.
So Wimpy unfortunately gets himself a penalty down in 14th place, having a reasonably good race from what we've seen, and that move just now as well that Thimo described. And here is Anonymous lining up Speedy. Anonymous on the soft tyres, Speedy on the medium tyres. And in fact, we're going to cut away from this because we're going to go back to the battle for the lead here between Sergios and Triton. Triton now quite close as they go into the chicane. I'm going to ride on board with Triton on the exit. He got a reasonable exit, but maybe not good enough. Sergios trying to cover the inside, I think. Triton does, of course, have the DRS advantage, but again, he's not really close enough here. And this is really holding... Oh, and Sergios gets sideways in turn 2 there. Just about catches it, but this is really bad news for Triton. He's being held up badly here by the race leader. Sergios, of course, has every right to do that. This is a battle for position, but it's certainly not helping Triton that he's not able to get past Sergios. And he's going to lose that tyre advantage quite soon, and he's going to have to pit from those super soft tyres as well.
Yuga's now past Harzer. Those two have been sharing some love on track. No?
Yeah, they've been together the whole race on the same strategy. Oh, Bance almost losing the car in Degna 2 there in the background. We just saw a glimpse of that as we were watching Etney, and Etney having to get past Anonymous here. I wonder if Anonymous... I mean, I don't think he's going to go to the end of the race on those soft tyres. I think he'll pit again for supers. So
he probably will.
Yeah, but Speedy obviously will go to the end on those mediums, so Etney is going to have to pass Speedy on track.
Also, I want to call out that this is an exceptional performance by Speedy again. I mean, we saw his pace at the start of the season, but when Sergios and Etney basically fought their way into the championship, he wasn't a match for them. But this race, he's only 3 seconds behind Sergios after 12 laps, so showing some really strong pace, also ahead of Anonymous, who has got arguably better tires, a better tire compound just in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good stuff from Speedy.
Triton with another mistake, so he drops like half a second there.
Yeah, he certainly wasn't close enough that time on the front straight to get the job done, unfortunately. So it might be that Triton just has to wait behind Sergios here and wait for his pit stop, and he's not pulling away from Speedy at all in that third place.
Gets himself his first and only pit stop of the race. He comes out in P12 for the moment, ahead of Noel, behind /LP. Wimpy gets overtaken by Copy, and he goes for revenge move and runs onto the grass on the inside of 130R there. That looked dangerous, but in the end it was fine. Copy
spins out of the chicane, and oh, what a disaster of a race it's been for Copy. What a disaster it's been for Copy. He just got a little bit too greedy on the traction there. He's going to be overtaken by, who was that? By a Williams by the looks of it, to be lapped, I would have thought. But Copy is just having an absolute nightmare out there. We saw that he had good pace in qualifying, but not able to show it in the race. Here is Bance on Anonymous for P5 as they head up to 130R. Side by side through there. You can do that pretty easily in a Formula 1 car, and he does get the job done quite easily as they head into the chicane. So Bance up to P5, and a strong showing from him as well in this race. Oh, Triton for the lead here into turn 1. He dives up the inside and almost pushes Sergios off the track. Didn't see if there was any contact. Sergios does manage to hold it, though, around the outside of turn 2. And again, Triton is going to have to wait because Sergios is fighting his corner on those medium tyres. And Triton is having, well, a race-destroying couple of laps here behind the race leader.
Yeah, that's hard to watch, honestly. Also, Speedy losing out, not Speedy, Copy losing out might be a bit of a deal for the championship because Benz is currently in P5 and they are in really close contention. It's only 1 point separating those, so Copy might lose P4 in the standings to this poor performance. Behind them, there's a bit of a gap, like, I think it's 18, 19 points to Yugos in P6, but Benz and Copy can still battle it out. But every point counts.
Yeah, I think so. And Bance, yeah, he's gonna get a good points haul here if he finishes P5, which suggests he might finish P5 because he certainly has the pace to maintain it at the moment. And then he's gonna get 10 points for that. So.
Oh wait, when did Clara retire?
I don't know. It must have been reasonably recently though, because yeah, I completely missed that. I don't know.
Yeah, so did I. I'll ask.
Once again, Triton in DRS range, but not close enough to Sergios into turn 1, and I think maybe now his tyre advantage might have gone altogether, and he might be stuck behind behind Sergios for the rest of this stint. There's a battle brewing as well for P3. Etney has caught up to Speedy very gradually, and he is now right behind the Haas. They go through Dunlop. Runs a little bit wide there, Etney, but not too bad. Etney, of course, does have the 3-second penalty, and I don't think Speedy has one. So
Clara crashed out of the Grand Prix. So
oh, that's unfortunate.
Forced the retirement.
Yeah,
probably lost the wheel.
That'll do it. So unfortunate for Clara, his reserve driver today, and not able to finish this Japanese Grand Prix. As we see through the sweeping right-hander into spoon curve now, Speedy and Etney once again. That 15 of 27, 13 to go, including this one. And
yeah, having ethnic TRN knocking on the door behind you, really one of the things you don't want to have happening in SLR.
Yep, absolutely intimidating. So we're gonna keep the camera here for the time being out of the hairpin again. Triton, I'm just going to see what the gap is. No, Triton pits, in fact. So Triton doing his second stop now, cutting his losses, going to go onto the soft tyres. And he's going to come out somewhere, I think, around, probably ahead of Ocean Chief. So, as Etney doesn't manage to get the move done that time. Anonymous is stuck on the back of Bance as well as they go into turn 1. And
I've got to feel bad for Triton. He had such a good run, and then his strategy pretty much, got screwed by being stuck behind Sergios. But yeah, I mean, he is to blame. He made lots of mistakes, but still, that's
I mean, it was just like if he'd managed to do another 3 laps at the pace that he was doing when he did his fastest lap of the race, then he would definitely have been in the mix. He would have been chasing Bance and Anonymous and probably getting those 2. And maybe even looking at Speedy as well for that P3, and Etney maybe for that P3 and P2. But as it is, he's got a lot of work to do. He does have 13 laps or 12 laps to do it. But
Tipsy Bob gets himself the fastest lap of the race.
Oh, nice. So Tipsy on the soft tyres, not even on the super soft. So good stuff from Tipsy. He's certainly got pace.
And P12 at the moment, getting closer to Noel, I assume.
Yep.
Probably getting closer. No, Noel in P11.
So
Noel had quite a messy race, but he is in P11, so good stuff from him.
Yeah,
to be honest.
absolutely.
He had 2 incidents. He got,
Speedy just gets a little bit of oversteer there. So we're going to cut away to this, I think, just for a second, because Etney is going to have a look at Speedy as they head up towards turn 1. Maybe not close enough. He's turned his ERS off, so happy to wait behind for the time being. Etney, he knows maybe that Speedy not always the best on tyres, so. Maybe just biding his time. He probably knows that Sergios is out of reach.
Oh, and Anonymous gets...
Michael retires.
Yeah.
Don't see when that happened or where that happened, and there's no way for us to see now, unfortunately.
Pass into turn 1 by Yugos on Harzer, but that was messy if I saw it right. I cut into the scene late in the process, so I don't know if that was a bad move by Yugos or a reckless move by Yugos, or if it just looked that way because I didn't see the full picture.
Well, didn't see any of it here. I think Harzer still has all of his front wing, so no damage by the looks of it. But
yes. Oh, by the way, so I don't think, have we mentioned Ocean Chief this race?
Well, yeah, not really. He's having a very good race. He's going to have to pit again. He's on a 2-stop strategy by the looks of it.
Oh yeah, okay.
So, but he is on course for some good points, I think. Oh, somebody off. Oh, that's Jesse, who's just letting the leaders past. Yeah, so good stuff from Jesse.
Yeah, he'll probably be able to slot in ahead of Nodal.
Yeah. And that will be P10. And then he might even be able to chase down the 2 in front of him on those fresh tires, but he's not going to have that many laps to do it. Yeah, super softs, I would have thought. But yeah, not going to have that many laps to do it. As we see again, this battle for second place is very much where the action is right now. Etney just biding his time as Speedy runs wide in the right-hander and just about recovers it. Triton with the fastest lap of the race on those soft tyres now, so he is gaining very quickly on Bantz. Ahead of him his teammate, 9 seconds now, so he's gained 3 seconds in the last 2 laps, so if he keeps that up, he is on course to catch his teammate. And Anonymous has pitted. Yeah, Anonymous pitted, of course, because he was on the 2-stop. Yep. So he's gone on to the soft tyres once again.
Yugos made the pass and got himself 1 second in the process because Harzer really messed up turn 1 or got forced into messing it up, whatever. But Harzer didn't didn't fall off the back of Yugos.
Oh, here we go. P2, Speedy and Etney. Yes. Etney in the slipstream. He's got his DRS in overtake mode. Goes to the outside of 130R. Nothing really doing there, though. And he has to fall in behind. Just, again, hitting the brakes. Oh, Speedy
gets sideways.
All sorts of sideways into the chicane. And it looks to me like this time Etney is going to be close enough. As he's going to pull, I think, to the outside.
Swing around the outside. But Speedy might be able to defend it, and so
pushes him off track. My goodness,
gets run off track basically. Yeah, I think Etney was offline on the outside there, and Speedy just took his line into his rear, basically cut off Etney's front.
Yeah,
Speedy is struggling.
Certainly didn't leave the space that time, and and of course both of them losing time to Sergios in front as well.
And
so 4 seconds to get now.
Is being passed by Harzer again into turn 1. So the battle for P7,
those two are having a great battle. Yet. So yeah, we'll see what happens towards the end of this battle. But yeah, certainly these two have been running together the whole race, and Harzer at the moment with the upper hand. But we've seen those two pass each other on a number of occasions, and I'm sure that's not the last of it.
Yeah, for those two, it feels like the driver ahead always loses his skills and pace to enable the other to catch up again. And then as soon as they swap positions, it's the other way around because they are like glued together.
Round 2 into the chicane between Speedy and Etney. Speedy covers the inside. He's compromised his exit doing that though, so Etney gets the power down very nicely. Gets a little bit sideways, but he's much closer than he was last time, and I think he's going to be passed before they get to turn 1 here. Side by side they go, and he is going to be able to take the line, I think. Yep, he does. Oh, and he runs wide though.
Speedy sends it down the inside onto was collecting the rear of Etney. Speedy really fought hard with everything he had.
Yep, he made it through though, Etney. So Etney now has, 8 laps to get himself a 3-second gap over Speedy.
Is Speedy aware of the penalty? His race engineer might have told him by now.
Yeah, I would have thought he probably
Etney is already a second ahead.
Yeah, I would have thought he is aware of the penalty, because there is. You can, if you just driver in front, driver behind does tell you exactly how many penalties the other car has most of the time. In fact, all of the time, I think. But yeah, it's a useful thing to note. But yeah, it's gonna be tough for him to stay within 3 seconds though, with the pace that Etney has. And here is once again the battle for P7. Hartzer and Hugo's having a proper ding dong. There are 7.5 laps to go. As just looking at the gap again, Triton is closing pretty quickly on Bant, so those two are going to be roughly together, I think, by the end of the race. Triton on the soft tyres, Bant's on the very old medium tyres. Oh, there's a mistake from Hugos as he runs a little bit wide in Spoon. And doesn't really get the exit that he needs there. Meanwhile, Hartzer now on the back of Ocean Chief as well. Ocean Chief surely going to be pitting soon. Assuming he is planning to pit again, which isn't absolutely guaranteed. Maybe he can get those soft tyres to the end. I don't know if he's been practicing his endurance racing. Yeah, he's staying out again. There's only 6 laps to go, or 7 laps to go. So maybe it is that he's decided that he wants to try and run the soft tyre to the end of the race.
Slipstreams up and goes down the inside. Easy move.
Yep, nicely done.
Not much and tries to do about that. But I think that's a wise decision. His tyres will be toast by now.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I'm surprised he hasn't pitted yet.
Where will Hugos find the gap? It's only a matter of time, and he runs into his back. That's a bit scrappy there.
Yeah, no real need for that. Ocean Chief obviously struggling for grip at the moment, so maybe slower than Hugos expected, but still, you can't really just drive into the back of somebody. Speedy with a penalty.
Oh, Speedy! That takes away the chance of him still beating Etney to P2.
Yep. Etney is closing on Sergios as well.
Oh, so that's 2.5 seconds.
2.5 seconds now, and it's coming down at a rate of knots, so we'll keep an eye on that. Again, Etney with the penalty. Speedy, Sergios, excuse me, has no penalty as far as we know.
I don't think so, he has one. I don't think he has one. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So on the back straight, we got a train of 4 cars now. Hartzer.
Oh, Jesse goes off in a spectacular fashion.
Oh dear.
I just scrolled through and I saw a McLaren sideways really fast on the ground. So.
Hugo's down the inside of Ocean Chief for P7. Nicely done from
Anonymous
the Haas driver.
Around the outside of teammate. Almost getting onto the grass there, opening DRS now. Well, Ocean Chief doesn't have open DRS, and Hugo's all close to Hartz again. He moves to the outside. He will try to make the move, but there's no room yet. Or does he get the run? No, he doesn't. Okay. No,
it was side by side through there. Didn't see if there was any contact, but certainly Hugo's ran way out wide.
Yeah, the camera angles for the first turn tend to be a bit not so great to look at.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
You don't see much of the full picture.
So here is the view from Anonymous's car, who's right on the back of Hugo's right now, having passed his teammate. It looks like Ocean Chief is going to try and get to the end on those tyres, which is very brave.
Yes.
I don't know.
He's practicing for later, though.
Looks like it. Oh, and again, Hartzer runs wide.
Hugo's again displaying the same move he did earlier, going down the inside, but this time his acceleration was worse than before. And now he will be on the outside, on the inside for 200R and on the outside for Spoon Curve, but he doesn't try to run side by side. He focuses on getting a good exit, and Anonymous
he hit the curb though.
Them.
Yeah, Hugo's hit the curb, that compromised his exit, and Anonymous now up into overtake mode as well. They all have Slipstream. It's going to be
the Predator
very
almost
tight.
becomes the prey here.
Oh, Hugo's having to... Yeah, Anonymous had to get out of that because there was really no room at the end. Hugo's had managed to cover that off. He tried to get alongside Hartzer, but wasn't quite able to. Here they go, though, once again into turn 1. Hugo's close enough to certainly have a go this time. He's going to try around the outside. And he's going to be ahead just before they get to the corner. He has to leave space on the inside, though, but he can go all the way around the outside. Very nicely done from Hugo's.
So it's now time for Hartz again and slash up PD Nefs, meanwhile. I'll see if I can spot a dead Mercedes.
Yep,
hey, my thumbnail was correct.
P13. So, meanwhile, speaking of Mercedes...
Oh! He's on the exit of Spoon Curve. I don't know how he got his car there.
Oh, dear.
Wimpy almost collected the car.
Oh, dear. So, slash LP, unfortunate. Yeah, Etney right on the back now of Sergios.
Wow. Insane pace.
So, yeah, on those older tyres as well, he pitted a lap earlier than Sergios did. And Sergios does have the cushion, of course, of the
Jesse
3-second penalty.
With respect,
I think to let everyone through, yeah. But, yeah, as far as we know, Sergios does not have a penalty, and Etne does have a penalty here. 30.7 from Etne. That was almost the fastest lap of the race on 16-lap old mediums. He is absolutely pedaling that Sauber as fast as it will go with 4 laps to go here at Suzuka. I'm going to follow on board as they go through the S's. Through the long right-hander, Copy with the fastest lap of the race at 29.9 on fresh softs. As Hartzer gets himself a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits, so Hugos now with a clear advantage in that battle.
And Oshiji also with 5 seconds. I just looked it up. Sergios is currently sitting at 2 off-track
warnings.
experiences.
Ooh.
So no penalty yet, but maybe he can be forced into an error.
Yeah, well that's the thing. He's under a lot of pressure right now, and he has to make sure his exits are good and make sure that he's driving cleanly, because if he gets a penalty, then suddenly this is a real battle for position. And he's only got 1 warning to play with, so he's on the Exeter Spoon. Does manage to keep all 4 wheels on the track, but he's got Etne lurking all the time as they come up to lap 1 of the Toro Rossos, either Danico or Wimpy. Through 130R they go, into the chicane. Etne deciding not to send it up the inside this time, but he is lurking all the time.
Wimpy getting out the way there.
Yeah, he's given El Sergios DRS though, so...
I'll
say thank you very much for that, because otherwise Etne I think would have been alongside into turn 1. Instead he has to wait behind. Again,
the tension is huge.
There's a lot of tension as Copy again does the fastest lap of the race on those soft tyres, 29.8. So that's showing the pace that he had today. He had a lot of pace. Sergios again just having to keep it clean right now as he heads into Degna, and the second Degna, and again
Anonymous
Etne
gets past Hugos meanwhile.
Oh,
he's got faster tires, so yeah, it was probably, I think Hugos might have had a bad exit by the looks of it, and Anonymous just passed him on the main
looks
straight.
like it was down the straight. And also the 2 Ferraris now very close to each other, so Bantz and Triton, as Kirst says in chat. Bantz, this is James. Triton is faster than you. There's, again, our leader's going down the back straight, right in the slipstream this time. Etne on Sergios. He's going to be right behind as they go into the chicane. Has to get out of the throttle just a little bit and gets the braking absolutely right. Doesn't run into the back of Sergios. Sergios got a slightly better run out of the chicane, though.
Is Sergios aware of the penalty?
I would assume he is, but I don't know.
I don't know if he checked that. I personally never do that, but I'm the greatest driver on the planet, so I get them regardless.
Oh, Sergios just about managing to keep it on the track there. Etne was trying the over-under and didn't quite manage to get it done because Sergios went very deep into turn 1 and just about held it for turn 2. So 2 laps to go now in this enthralling Japanese Grand Prix. The situation in terms of penalties is that Etne does have a penalty, Sergios does not, but Sergios is on 2 warnings, so he can't afford another slip-up, and he also can't afford to let Etne by. Into the hairpin again.
Honestly, he can.
Well, he can, but it is a risk because
you don't want to let him through intentionally.
Yeah, you don't want to be getting another warning, or you don't want to be letting Etne through and suddenly finding yourself 3 seconds behind either. There's only a lap and a half to go now, so maybe that's not such a threat anymore. Maybe the pressure relieved slightly on Sergios. And we'll keep an eye on the battle behind as well between the 2 Ferraris.
Oh, he comes so close. Will he make it?
Down the inside, has a
God,
look.
He had a look. He almost forced Sergios into a major error.
Yep, I guess that's the intention at this point. He is close enough this time, though, to be passed. I think before they get to turn 1, he's in overtake mode. And, yeah, I think he's going to be ahead, and he's going to be able to take the line into turn 1, and he does.
He is.
So Etney
3 seconds
takes the lead on the track. But yeah, I mean, the bad news for him is that he has to find 3 seconds from somewhere, because he needs to pull that gap. That's the penalty that he has, unless Sergios makes a mistake and gets himself a penalty as well, at which point Etney would win.
Last chicane.
It's stranger things have certainly happened. Sergios,
try to jinx him for the championship.
Because I mean, Sergios can't play it too safe, because there is that 3-second threat as well. Etney is very, very fast, and he has been saving his tyres.
Meanwhile, having a P8.
Triton has, yeah. So that was at a weird, that was a weird point of the track as well. I wonder if Bantz let him through.
In a voice call with each other.
Yeah, so and maybe he let him through. So Ocean Chief and Hartzer, yeah, something happened between those two. But meanwhile, back up front, Sergios is, I mean, it doesn't really matter, I don't think, him passing Etney into 130R. He's going to have a look into the chicane. Etney covers the inside and manages to cover his braking, and Etney exits the last corner. But it's not going to be Etney that wins this race. If we've got our penalties right, it's going to be Sergios who takes the checkered flag. And yeah, 2.4 seconds is the gap, because the 3-second penalty was the thing that made the difference. Speedy finishes in an excellent third, honestly. 6 seconds behind with the penalty count back. And Triton and Bantz cross the line. Bantz had a couple of penalties by the looks of it. Anonymous gonna cross the line a fairly distant 6th ahead of Hugo's in 7th. And then Ocean Chief, who did manage to get those soft tyres to the end of the race. That must have been a tyre conservation job. He crosses the line P8, and he gets himself the penalty for the unserved stop-go. I wonder if that was a real penalty or not. I don't know. It means that Gloves and Steering Wheel has jumped him for now, though. So maybe only 2 points for Ocean, we will see. But Hartzer it is who rounds out the top 10 on those medium tyres.
Sergios just messaged me that that his upshift pedal stopped working mid-race sometimes. So reliability issues, you could call it, for our race winner. In the end, it turned out well. Yeah.
So even more pressure, of course, for Sergios there at the end, but a fantastic drive from him. And yeah, we'll hear at some point as well what happened to Etney in terms of his penalty that really cost him the race in that first stint, or the long pit stop that cost him the race. Maybe it was just that Copy had just pitted and the pit crew weren't quite ready for Etney when he went in, which would be really unfortunate.
Yes, also because it plays a huge part in the championship, as we see Team Marduk standing in the mechanic.
And Brendan Lee on the third step of the podium as well. That's Speedy's avatar. So Sergios wins the race, and he extends his championship lead to 44 points with what, 4 races to go now. So that is getting to the point where I think we can almost certainly say that Sergios is going to be the first SLR champion. He's driven fantastically all season, and he did again today.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah, who's the driver of the day?
I've got 3 drivers I would nominate, but I don't know.
Okay, I think I have 2 at the moment that I would nominate. Go on, you go first.
So I feel like we haven't had any completely obvious standing performer this race, but the drivers I felt like were having an excellent race were, for me, Sergios, Speedy, and Ocean Chief.
Yeah, I think so. Speedy and Ocean Chief were my 2. I think Sergios drove a very good race. I think he was. I think he was to some extent given the victory by circumstance. I mean, he did manage to hold off Etney at the end there, but that 5-second penalty was really the deciding factor, I think, in this race. So great drive from Sergios and great win, but I don't think I would give him driver of the day, although he drove really well. So yeah, Ocean or Speedy. I think Speedy had an excellent race. I think I want to give it to Speedy.
I think I would be with you there.
Okay, so Speedy.
Ocean Chief, of course, did something interesting with his penalty that no one else in the field did, and that
With the strategy.
Brought him up. So really good race from him, and definitely an honorable mention. But I think I'll be fine with giving it to Speedy.
Yep, I think that's right with Ocean Chief. I think he drove a very good race, but yeah, I think Speedy, just in terms of the fact that he was very close to, he got a very good start. He fought off Triton. He got himself that third place really because Triton was either forced or decided to go onto a two-stopper, and so yeah, he got that podium. So Speedy's our driver of the day for this one. A really good, enjoyable race. It was lots of fun. We hope that you will stay with us here on the Extreme Gaming League YouTube channel, because we've got some fun and games coming up in iRacing with the 6 hours of Kota. Both of us will be driving with Revo and with Ocean Chief as well, so stick around for that if you can. Final thoughts, Thimo.
Again, I don't have any final thoughts. I should have been aware. Damn it.
I just ask you at this point because it's pretty fun to put you on the spot like that.
You think my suffering is funny? Okay, okay, that's that.
All right, that's been round 17. Join us tomorrow as well for the 2SRL race here from Suzuka. Triton will be casting that one, but thank you very much indeed for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye bye.